Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. Fireball has her favorite ball. I'm just going to warn you now. If she bounces it sounds like a crazy loon giggling, but it's her favorite ball by far. Okay, so today we are going to do the Cozy Christmas book tag. I was tagged by the wonderful Miriam over at Miriam Elizabeth Reads. I will link her channel and video in the description box down below. And this video is actually taking the place of one of the books I was supposed to read in December. As you know, December became an incredibly stressful month in this household. And the vlog I was supposed to do for today is not happening. And this video is replacing it. So Miriam, thank you very much for giving me a video idea when I desperately needed one. Okay. The questions were fun. There's a giant stack of books over here. So first up is Twinkling Lights. What is the most beautiful book you own? Now, I don't have the books in order over here. It's probably not helpful. I have many beautiful books. And first up is Queen by Right by Anne Easter Smith. I have not read this. All of her book covers are beautiful. I just grabbed this one at random. I really want to read this book. I think it is gorgeous. I will read you the back. History remembers Cecily of York standing on the steps of Market Cross at Ludlow, facing an attacking army while holding the hands of her two young sons. Queen by Right reveals how wow, I need coffee. She came to step into her destiny, beginning with her marriage to Richard, Duke of York, whom she meets when she is 8 and he is 12. Raised together in her father's household, they become a true love match, and together face personal tragedies, pivotal events of history, and deadly political intrigue. All of England knows that Richard has a clear claim to the throne, and when Henry VI becomes unfit to rule, Cecily must put aside her hopes and fears and help her husband decide what is right for their family and their country. We all know I want to read this book. Not a great surprise to anyone. And the other... well, that's not going to go over there nicely. So we'll put it over here. The other cover, I think, is in the running for one of the most beautiful covers I own. Most beautiful books I own. Has some glue on the pages I have never noticed before. I have not read this one either, but it's Karen Harper, so I know I'm going to love it. That is The First Princess of Wales. And this cover is just stunning. It is stunning. It continues on the spine. There's a little bit of it on the back. And I will read you the back. The daughter of a disgraced earl, she matched wits with a prince. It is the 14th century, the height of the medieval age, and at the court of King Edward III of England, chivalry is loudly praised while treachery runs rampant. When the lovely and high-spirited Joan of Kent is set to this politically charged court, she is woefully unprepared for the underhanded maneuverings of her peers. Determined to increase the breadth of his rule, the king will use any means necessary to gain control of France, including manipulating his own son, Edward, Prince of Wales. Joan plots to become involved with the prince to scandalize the royal family, for she has learned they engineered her father's downfall and death. But what begins as a calculated strategy, soon, to Joan's surprise, grows into love. When Joan learns that Edward returns her feelings, she is soon fighting for her own. For how could she love the man that ruined her family? And if she does, what will be the cost? I have no words. I need to know. I very much need to know. Question 2. The perfect tree. Will you pay more to get the prettiest edition of a book? No. Will I pay slightly more? Yes. Do covers matter? Yes, I would prefer a pretty cover over an ugly cover. Actually, I have an example I didn't pull. Let me go get it. So earlier this late fall, I ordered a copy of Shirley by which Bronte? Charlotte Bronte. And this is the cover I ordered. It's a Wordsworth classic. It's a beautiful cover. It's got the, gilding on it. It's a nice, deep wine color. It's, an inviting cover. That is specifically the book I ordered. The book I received is this monstrosity. Now, am I going to get it returned? I'm trying, but I'm also attempting to buy. The pretty cover goes out of stock so quickly, and I need the pretty cover. This is it doesn't fit, but 2 other books on my shelf, and even then it doesn't really fit because those are Penguin classics in black, and this is a Wordsworth classic in black. It isn't an inviting cover. It is the most generic cover known to mankind, and not the one. No, don't like this cover. Seriously. So, I will pay for the appropriate cover. Will I pay an exorbitant amount? No, I will not. Do not, there has been this trend recently with highly hyped books for special editions, and special editions differing at different retailers, so you have to buy multiple copies of the special edition to collect all of the differing chapters, and that nonsense I want no part of. So okay, question 3. Build a snowman. Make a Christmas book stack in color or theme. Well, I have one, and it's very large. So let's see if I can get it all in frame. And my guess is I'm going to have to do this very carefully because it's going to be heavy. I know it's heavy. Oh, Lord. As it all comes crashing into me. There's even a star on top. You ready? Ready? Okay, here it goes. Ooh. There's a Christmas tree. Okay, let's talk about the books. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm going to talk about them in reverse order so that they stack nicely. Bottom 2 books are related, so we'll do those together. This is book 3. I believe this is book 3. Let's see. I'm checking before I... Nope, it's book 4. So book 2 and book 4 of the Inheritance Cycle. Book 2 is Eldest. Book 4 is Inheritance. They are appropriately colored for the season. And as you know by now, book 2 is a Dave 25 and 25. Next up would be Test of the Dubervilles by Thomas Hardy. And then Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. And the next green book is The Memoirs of Cleopatra by Margaret George. Followed by The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And then the small little pile, Meet Me in Monaco by Hazel Gaynor and Heather Webb. The only book I have read in this entire stack, Love in the Eternal City by Rebecca W. Martin. This is the first book in the Swiss Guard romance series, Catholic fiction. And the star on top would be The Marriage of Lions by Elizabeth Chadwick. That was a very nice Christmassy stack of lovely books that I really enjoyed. Or hope to read, and one I really enjoyed. Okay, question 4. A crackling fire. What book makes you feel warm and cozy? Well, I looked on my shelves, and there are so many options that I didn't want to start pulling them, because I think what makes you feel warm and cozy is very, for me, being a mood reader, dependent on my mood. And if you ask me today what's going to make me feel warm and cozy, it's going to be an Agatha Christie. It's going to be, a cozy mystery right now. As I film this on the 23rd, I am in a stress reading slump that I am trying to get myself out of. And the best way I know how to do that is a cozy. So when I'm done editing today, I'm picking up a cozy and I am praying I lose myself in it. And that is probably going to be Royal Flush by Rhys Bowen. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to go pick up A Hercule Poirot, and I know Agatha will work. So, okay. Next question. 5. Knee-high socks. What is the longest book you have read? That is a very complicated answer. Okay, so what is the longest book I have read? And I am rereading this year. It's a Dave 25 and 25 book. That is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. It is the third book in the Stormlight Archive Series 1. And it comes in at 1,241 pages. Had I completed Texas by Michener, that would have won this. It comes in at over 1,400 pages, but I haven't finished Texas, so it technically doesn't qualify. I have read War and Peace, so that would qualify. I'm not doing word count, I'm just doing page count. And this question is difficult because it varies by edition, it varies by format, and so, there are multiple answers to this question, but we're going to go with Oathbringer. Okay, question 6. Ugly sweaters. What is the ugliest book you own? I have 2 answers for this. First up would be this entire series is just atrocious, but they are all the same size, and thus that's why I own them. I would not recommend anybody buy them for their covers. That is the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. This is book 1, The Eye of the World. Any of these books could have been chosen. I do not know why Tor reissued these with this cover. It is atrocious. It is atrocious. It is nondescript. It is bland. It does not convey any information about the content of the book. And I despise them. However, the books are too big to be read in mass market paperback. For some reason, Tor hasn't released them in trade paperback format. And if you can find the books in hardback, they are in excess of $30 a piece. And good luck finding them either new or in very good condition. So I'm going to go with the ugly, oddly sized books and deal with it. The other incredibly ugly book I've already talked about, that would be Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. I do not like this edition. I do not think there is anything attractive about this. I do not think it conveys anything about the book. Yeah, I don't like that title. Or that cover. So, those are by far the 2 ugliest books I own. Hands down. Question 7. Blizzards. A book set in winter or a book that gives you the chills has dark themes. I have 3 choices for this. And so first up would be Miss Graham's Cold War Cookbook by Celia Reese. The description of winter in Europe in 1940, the end of 1945 going into 46. You will be cold. You will be sobbing. Not only is the story dark at that point, but it is so atmospherically written that you are transported. And the lives of those refugees are... It's heartbreaking. And it's one of those novels I think everybody should read. And it is not an easy read. It is... You will need someone to talk to it about, and I'm the only person I know that has read it. If you pick it up and you need to talk, you know how to get a hold of me. Another great one for this, and I don't own a copy, I read this from library, is The Frozen River by Ariel Lahone. This is a very wintry, atmospheric, thrilling book. It's epistolary. It's based on the journals of Martha Ballard, who is the heroine. I absolutely loved this book. It is perfectly appropriate for this question. And the next 2 I was supposed to read in December. That failed, but that's okay. I will read them at some point. First up is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Wow, can't talk. This is set in Alaska. Obviously, it's going to be wintry. It's going to be dark. It's going to have that, Alaska atmosphere to it. I have started it. It was great. The way December went, it wasn't going to happen. And the last up, and I say I'm not going to read this in December, but I probably will try at least. That is Valley Forge by Newt Gingrich and William Force Chen. And this is the second book in this series of the American Revolution. The first book is To Try Men's Souls, and the third book, I cannot remember the name of it at the moment. I will put the third book right here. This, obviously, Valley Forge. I don't need to explain why this is both dark and wintry and will give you chills. Okay. That is question number 7. Question number 8. 8. Home for the holidays. For the rereaders out there, are there any books that feel like going home? So, I am not a big rereader. If I'm going to reread something, it is most likely going to be an Agatha Christie. And I love all Agatha Christie books. Not a single one has ever been a miss for me. Her skill in not just introducing characters and creating plots that she shows and does not tell without being verbose and with just far too many extraneous details that add nothing to the story is masterful. And I think every Christie book I've ever read is a Carl Sagan book for me. They are just proof that humans can do magic. And you can reread them, and her back catalog is so extensive that if you reread, a selection of her books one year, and you continue to do that for many years, by the time you come back around to where you started, you will not remember, because she is just perfection. And the other one I would categorize as, in this question, even though I have never reread one of hers, I can imagine that I would someday. That's Robin Hobb. Her character work is second to none. You cannot beat Robin Hobb for character work. And I have not finished all of them. And my favorite Hobb are everybody's least favorite, and that is the Rain Wild Quartet. I thought those were absolutely masterful. Just absolutely masterful books. So, okay. And am I going to tag anybody? I am not. But if you need a tag for, I think this question works just as well in January as it does in, December. You can easily change the perfect tree question to fit, a moody January scene or, February. So, if you need a tag, consider yourself tagged. I hope you are all having a very wonderful and blessed Christmas season. I hope that you have had more love and laughter than your hearts can contain. And please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.